bus from the airport, we heard a massive smash, and basically, we don't know what's happening yet, but the bus has hit something. You can't really see it in this, but the full front door of the bus is smashed, so we're now stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Paint?
Great. It's always something. Right, I'll lift you up. Right, ready?
No.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm heavy.
3, 2, 1,
Yeah,
go!
sure. Well, it's fine. I might be able to do a video call doing it.
Done. Nice. Go on, Jones.
It hurts.
Wow. I'm here to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
That's a horrible idea. What time? Yeah, brilliant. So initially you signed up
Yep.
for the physical health,
Yes.
but you've obviously alluded to the fact that it's actually been about the mental health benefits.
Oh,
Has that surprised you? Did you expect that?
No, I think that's why I kind of was like, wait, what's the word? Wait, not navigated towards. What's the word?
Gravitate.
Gravitate. Thank you. Sorry. That was the reason why I think I gravitated towards Steve's page, was because it had that mental health side of it. It wasn't just about a PT in a gym trying to get me to a smaller dress size. It was more about your mental health and strength. And I think that side of it was what kind of encouraged me to message you, I think, because I don't, I'm already stressed about the size I am, and I think the way that I want to think about exercise isn't to get smaller, it's a different way of thinking, I think, isn't it? So I think Steve's aim, it kind of aligns with how I want to think about exercise and then myself.
Yeah. So how long again is it that you've been coaching in this space?
You what, sorry?
How long is it again that you've been coaching in this space?
Well, I've been coaching here since day one as an MHEC coach, well, any kind of coach, but I've been a member of the gym myself for 11 years.
Brilliant.
So I've got coaches in here who coach me in a specific way, and that's the way that I've adopted to all the people that I work with. I mean, if I didn't coach people in the same way that I am and I believe in, that would make me a bit of a fraud and a hypocrite.
Yeah, agreed. So Steve, talk me through a little bit about what you're going to be doing with Catherine today.
Well, basically all of my clients have a very similar program. It's all based on fundamental movement principles: push, pull, hinge, squat, core carry, cardio. And then within that, I work on a unilateral and bilateral basis. So everybody has an A program and a B program, and I flip between the unilateral and bilateral within that to make sure everything's covered. So with Catherine today, we'll be going through normal warm-up, which is yoga-based, and then we'll be going into the main body of the workout, which is broken down into 2 strength sessions, a carry, some cardio, and finish with some core, which gives the heart rate a chance to come down once she's finished the cardio bit.
That sounds good. Do you ever, will you ever take part or join in with them at all?
Only normally from a demonstration basis.
Yeah.
I mean, the session's very much about them.
Yeah.
Hence, just like the way I set up, I always make sure everything's set up, different parts of the gym for the program we're going to do. So.
Yeah. I didn't do it that regularly when I was coaching. I did so often, it was like, I think I called it like Challenge Dan or something.
Yeah.
I think it would be if they bet me at anything, they got a free PT session or something.
Yeah.
No, reason I'm asking is just obviously because some of your clients are so similar to you when it comes to, again, like you said, like the training that you're giving them. I was just curious, but you're right, this is about them coming in and, you know.
I mean, without being big-headed, I think certainly some of my clients that are in my peer group, part of the attraction of them working with me is that I am just about to be 60 and I am in good shape and I still do lots of stupid stuff and they kind of like listening to my stories about what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love that picture, it's class.
Yeah.
So this is a random person.
I didn't know him. I just said to him, I've always wanted to have my photograph taken at a big gig, sat on somebody's shoulders.
So how many weeks? Did you say 8 weeks?
8 weeks, yeah.
Hi there, how you doing? You okay? Lovely to meet you. I'm Dan.
Thank you very much.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm Dan. Nice to meet you. You okay? You all right? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Nice to see you.
So I basically downloaded into a spreadsheet all my Facebook friends and my phone contacts. Not massive. So I stripped out all the duplicates, all the people who I definitely didn't want to be there, and I still had my starting point was 340.
Jesus.
And that was before anybody was bringing any partners with them.
Yeah, God.
So to get it down to 140 with partners, and I specifically put it on the invites, this invite is just for you. If you want to bring somebody with me, ask me.
Yeah. I read that and I said, is this a joke? Because I know what your humour's like as well. Because obviously you were just like the popularity thing. I was like, I couldn't tell whether you were being serious or not. But that was true.
That was true, yeah, because I've had people coming back, can I bring my wife with me? And I was saying, hang on, let me just check the numbers.
Oh my God.
I was like half jokingly, half serious.
Huh?
Did you ask?
Yeah, well, Ben was meant to be coming in the first place.
Yeah.
So the MHEC team got a full invite.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not as tall, but I'm just as funny as Ben.
You're funnier than Ben. You are funnier.
No, it was like at the start, it was like half jokingly, half serious. I thought I was going to have a one in, one out policy. It was like have people waiting outside for somebody to go out.
Imagine.
You know what it is? When I read it, I don't know whether it's just because I'm so used to you just putting your humorous spin on serious things. I just thought, I thought it was a piss take.
No.
So is there a bouncer on the door?
No. But one of my clients said to me, it might have been Catherine actually, it was like 140 people. It was just, that's not a birthday, it's a fucking wedding.
Yeah, that's a big celebration. I can't wait.
So I'm going down this afternoon. I've got to have a chat with the lighting guy because I've got some walk-on music before my speech queued up. And I want him to do, I've got some specific ideas what I want to do with the lighting.
Smoke.
Well, he's got it, there will be smoke.
Confetti cannon. So Catherine, how long have you been training with the main man for?
It's about, is it over a year now?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was last September, wasn't it? Yeah, over a year.
How did you find out about Steve?
Google.
Google. That's some good SEO there, Steve.
Yeah, there you go, well done.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, I just wanted to get exercise and get stronger and looked someone up on Google. There you go.
Good for you. Can you remember what you searched for specifically that made him pop up?
I think it was exercise in the area in Chippenham. And then I looked through a couple of them and I looked at like Pure Gym and all of those. But then I stumbled upon Steve's page and I was like, oh, that's the guy for me. Oh, see, you should have picked me, Steve. There's much better candidates for this. You've got much better clients.
Well, I thought I'd pick the client who gave me the best opportunity to demonstrate all my skills.
Perfect, and the one that's available on Saturday.
That's right.
Right, am I eating great? I'm currently filming out the performance log on this app.
He's a slave driver, isn't he?
I know. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? Is that in bed or on the sofa?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was, I woke up at 6 a.m. on the sofa again, Steve, you'll be pleased to know.
Thanks for that.
And then I slept in bed until 10 o'clock. Every time.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, I can't make it into bed on a Friday night. It's just impossible. Yeah, no, I can't. Just exhaustion of the week.
Exhaustion, just what you wired. That's what you're like after work. Yeah. You'll 6-8 hour shifts and then come home and get.
And you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I work quite sporadic and long hours at home, at work, and then when I get home, that's it. Yeah. And I've been on some late shifts this week, so it's been like, you know, starting at 6 a.m. and finishing at like 10, 11 p.m. and then after that, you're done.
How do you manage it? I know obviously like you joked a little bit recently, but like seriously, how are you managing energy-wise? Like today, like how does this remain a priority?
Well, it never used to be. Like, it really didn't. I think I stopped exercising when I was a teenager, and then suddenly I was doing jobs where I had no energy at all. Like, I was really fucked. every week. And then a friend of mine, Hyrox Alice, got a friend of mine, we call her Hyrox Alice. She did her second Hyrox last night.
Oh, did you at Birmingham?
Yeah, she said she's absolutely fucked after it. But we started exercising at the same time, but she does it in Bristol. And then I guess it's sort of like, gives you a bit more energy, but also a priority to make health and fitness a thing rather than just not ever doing it. I think I was never a priority before, and now I'm like, oh, it should be a priority. Approaching my 30s, so I should probably make it.
I was 34 the other day, so.
Oh, my heart bleeds for both of you.
I know. Wait, you're still 59.
I'm still 59, I've still got 7.
Oh yeah, when is your birthday? I didn't actually ever ask.
Week today.
Oh, well, you should still open that.
Do you want to take it back and then I'll give it to me next week?
You should open it.
What, now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did. I don't want it lost
worrying.
amongst the table of many gifts that you're getting later.
That's why I've invited 140 people.
For the camera.
It's funny. Also, oh, there's a tiny little gift, but I think you'll appreciate my joke. You'll understand this in a bit.
Yeah.
Reps of 8.
Yeah.
Get it? Basically,
Can't count
I
for
can't count for shit. And so we'll get halfway through and I forget what number I'm on.
My favourite line as a PT was, oh, just one more.
It's for your coat. Oh, and then your catchphrase. Oh, it's on your website.
Oh, brilliant.
There you go. Oh, gosh. There you go.
Move better, feel better.
Thank you.
Love that.
That is definitely going to go on my dry robe.
Yeah. And those you could put on your trainers.
I know, right?
See, it's actually thoughtful and not a shit sarcastic thing.
It's hardly surprising. It's hardly surprising we get on so well.
Baffling. Right, come on then.
Right, let's get some music on.
What's the music choice of the day?
Oh, don't put on something shit.
Well, thanks for that.
You could put on...
80s compilation.
Oh, yeah, go on. Like good compilation, not a shit one. Like
That's a shit start. Then next track. Accidentally ended up in 2 gay bars.
Did you?
Yeah, we had such a great time with it. It's so funny.
That's brilliant.
Got about 6 hours sleep every night.
Blimey. Who'd you go with?
Me and 7 mates.
I'll do the curtsy at least once.
Yeah.
What's Steve's favourite saying?
Hang on, we'll use it in a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, just wait.
So that's 3.
3.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the last but one or last but one?
So the one after next is the last but one.
But he does that on all the fucking exercises.
Starting sideways on and then pushing up, dinging 2 heads together, and then you'll get the little bit. Sure, slow it down a little bit. Five.
Yeah, it's all right. I can't in this time.
That's 8. Nice work. What's the weight feel like?
Yeah, fun.
Huh?
Yeah, it's fine. Very heavy, thank you.
Okay.
Awful yellow on your trainer.
That's exactly why I wear them. Thanks, sir. It's supposed to fit in with the branding because I got the blue in the shorts, which matches the blue in there, and I needed some yellow for the.
Yeah, but the yellows don't match.
But
It's a costume nightmare.
the fact that you notice it don't match means it's standing out, which means it's working.
I only notice it don't match because it's my profession.
Well held. Very well held.
No, we're not held. We're not held. It's okay. When he knows I could go up, we all know I could go up.
I know, it's the reverse psychology of a PT.
Yes. So you sure it's okay? Yeah.
I know, you see the thing is, I'm like, I feel because I don't PT anymore, I'm on your side, but I knew every single trick in the book. And it was probably far more annoying than
What he wants is for you to make the decision. It's really fucking annoying.
Well, that means I can't get the blame because you made the decision. I just asked
still
the question.
blame you, Steve.
I can't be responsible for the answer.
Blame you for it all.
Catherine, you pay him.
I know. Absolute awful. Yes, you're right, I'm fine with these ones. Actually, can we just strike that from the record? He's not ever right. 8.
8.
Like for that.
I always get the feeling that when you have a bit of progress, which is down to a decision we jointly made, you always blame me as in a kind of begrudging fashion.
Yes, yes, I do. I shouldn't.
Yeah, so sorry, talk to me through what you're doing.
So I use the laptop, I always print it off just in case anything goes wrong with the internet or anything like that. So we start off with a warm-up, which is now yoga-based. Then we've got some strength phases, strength 1, strength 2, strength 3, which is a carry. Then we work into a cardio session, and then we finish off with a core session. Core session always follows cardio because it gives Catherine's opportunity for her heart rate to come down before she goes out the door with a beaming smile on her face.
Love it.
Please tell me you got that on camera. Yes.
Ah,
8.
well done.
Done it. That was pure gold.
So why Steve? Why do you enjoy
Why
coming to train
Steve?
with Steve?
Well, firstly, let's go back to the beginning. No. Basically, I have quite a stressful job. I work very long hours, have fairly high stress situation, don't I, at work. A lot of stuff going on at home too, which adds to the stress of it all. And I'd say that I come here every week to step out of reality and get away from it all. And this space provides me a good place to forget all the stuff that's going on, de-stress a little. I think we have a good banter and a joke, don't we? And
That we do.
And take the mick out of each other, and it's a great place to kind of de-stress with exercise whilst I'm building strength and fitness up, which has been a goal of mine this last year, to kind of stay motivated but also increase my motivation to become healthier and fitter, and generally I think mentally healthier as well as physically healthier, and this space provides that. There you go. It's a nice comment, isn't it?
Okay,
What do you think your relationship with exercise would be like if you didn't have Steve?
I think before starting exercising with Steve, I was quite scared of going to the gym and exercising generally. I've got asthma, so I've always been scared of anything cardio related. I'm scared to sort of attempt to start anything related to that. And so I was quite nervous when we started because, especially with the cardio stuff, like getting out of breath and generally stressed about anything related to exercise. And I think I wouldn't be able to have built up my relationship with exercise if I'd not been doing this, because just the fear of like collapsing from like asthma attack or, you know, being out of breath too much scared me. And now I think I could get out of breath and recover fairly quickly after a cardio exercise, which I never would have been able to do a year ago. So definitely has improved my fitness and mental health. I used to work in a leisure centre where there was a gym. I worked in a cafe, don't worry, nowhere near the gym. But I used to be quite fearful of that. I sort of could see it all going on and all the busyness and everything. And I tried going into a busy gym, and I was always freaked out by the amount of people of various fitness levels and the, you know, stress of all these women in fairly short shorts, and like that whole situation and environment just freaks me out. And so I think this gives a safe space, doesn't it, where you can exercise with music. Depends whose choice it is. If it's my choice, it's not such good music. With Steve's choice of music, and it's a safe environment where you can focus on the exercise, having a bit of a de-stress chat, and not being scared about what other people are thinking of me in this space, whilst also progressing with like the weights that we're using and the types of exercise we're doing. I don't think I would have been able to facilitate that by myself without somebody helping guide me.
So initially you signed up
Yep.
for the physical health,
Yes.
but you've obviously alluded to the fact that it's actually been about the mental health benefits.
Oh,
Has that surprised you? Did you expect that?
No, I think that's why I kind of was like, kind of Wait, what's the word? Not navigated towards. What's the word?
Gravitate.
Gravitate. Thank you. Sorry. That was the reason why I think I gravitated towards Steve's page, was because it had that mental health side of it. It wasn't just about a PT in a gym trying to get me to a smaller dress size. It was more about your mental health and strength. And I think that side of it was what kind of encouraged me to message you, I think, because I don't, like, I'm already stressed about the size I am, and I think the way that I want to think about exercise isn't to get smaller, it's a different way of thinking, I think, isn't it? So I think Steve's aim, it kind of aligns with how I want to think about exercise, and then myself. I know I was definitely getting myself into a bit of a rut, and I think that rut would have continued, where I was sat on my arse every Saturday. I was like, definitely, you know, kind of maybe my relationship towards like the way I was eating on a weekend used to be different, whereas it's definitely like, I know that when I'm geared up towards an exercise session on a weekend or on a Saturday, like the way I eat during the day is different. And I think just all of that mindset kind of carries me through the week. Like, I'm motivated to think about the week differently, because I'll, you know, focus on the way I'm eating, you know, the way I'm working, like at work, you know, I'm bending differently. I'm kind of, you know, if I'm the industry I work in, if I need to lift something, I'll volunteer to go and do it over somebody else, because I think that mindset has carried me through, which I think if I'd not been doing this, I'd just be still in a bit of a rut, a bit of a lump, not really motivated to do anything. Okay.
That's great to me. Okay. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about your early life into your career, your previous career.
Well, up until 2 years, 3 months ago, I was still in the midst of a 36-year career in financial services. It's kind of a career that I'd fallen into. Nobody goes to school and talks to their careers teacher and say, when I grow up, I want to administer somebody's pension. So looking back on it, I was getting to the point where I was getting disillusioned with it. Basically, I got fed up with my job being trying to make rich people richer. And I was kind of thinking there must be more to life than this. But I didn't know what at that time. I'd have a coaching qualification, which came from my curiosity as a recreational athlete. I wanted to know how my body worked, and more importantly, when it didn't, why it went wrong and what I could do to fix it. That was primarily driven by my heart attack back in 2017, when 6 months out of competing in my first World Obstacle Racing Championships, I had a heart attack out of the blue. I kind of thought I was invincible because I was in the best mental and physical condition I'd ever been. But I'm collapsing at the start line of a race. I found myself in intensive care 10 hours later with a stent in my heart and my family around me. That, looking back on it, was probably when my appreciation of the importance of mental health first took hold of me, because my physical recovery was fairly quick, so I raced again 4 months later, but my mental recovery took probably at least about a year. Nobody writes a guidebook on how to recover from a heart attack, so you kind of work it out as you go along. So I think roll on a few years to the end of my career in financial services, I was disillusioned professionally and personally. I had an appreciation of what poor mental health feels like from recovering from my heart attack, and came across the qualification in mental health and exercise coaching and think, well, this ticks all of my boxes. Went to the face-to-face upgrade meeting, and the rest, as they say, is history. Basically, everybody told me to get off my arse and make a decision, and I did that 2 days later. I went home, told my wife I wanted to hand my notice in, which I did. Roll on 2 years, 3 months, and here we are.
You know, Steve once said, over a pint, he said, the only thing I get up this early for is the airport or MHEC. So take me back to the moment of the heart attack. Tell me a little bit about what happened in that moment, and then tell me a little bit more about, in depth, about what impact that had on your life.
moving forwards?
Well, 6 months out from taking part in my first obstacle course race and championships, I finished top 100 for my age group, which effectively for my age group put me in the top 100 on the planet. So I kind of thought I was almost Superman, because everything I tried to do at that time I achieved, and it was always about trying to find the next thing to do. I've always been motivated by not wanting to operate within my own comfort zone. I always want to operate at a level physically and mentally that I'm capable of. Then all of a sudden, at the peak of what I thought my fitness was, I found myself in intensive care, lights around me, nurse telling me I had a heart attack, had a stent put in my heart. Frustratingly, but in the scheme of things, not particularly important, very frustrated that I'd fulfilled a lifetime's ambition of riding in a helicopter and can't remember anything about it. But then I guess the hard work started, but I've always thought that even though it was a hard journey to come back physically and mentally, looking back on it, the thing I didn't appreciate at the time was the mental trials that my friends and family around me went through when I was oblivious to, because I thought all I needed to do was get back to physical strength and everything would be fixed, but that was bollocks. My wife had a phone call in the gym that we're sitting in now from somebody she didn't know saying, your husband's had a heart attack, he's been flown to hospital, we don't know if he's going to make it or not. So looking back on it, I had it easy. I just collapsed, woke up, I was fixed. My wife thought I was going to die, had to deal with that. She had to phone up my parents and tell them that what had happened. And then kind of the world stopped physically for me, mentally for everybody else, until I woke up in hospital. So I think the biggest, people always talk to me about my heart attack and what was hard about it. The hardest thing was the appreciation of what my loved ones went through.
Am I right in saying that you were legally pronounced dead, or you legally died twice?
I wasn't pronounced dead, but my heart stopped twice and had to be restarted.
If your heart stopped twice and has to be restarted, how does that change your outlook on life and your own mortality?
Well, when I kind of started circulating amongst my friends and socialising again afterwards, somebody asked me, has the experience changed you? And my answer was, well, it'd be pretty messed up if it hadn't. I guess the biggest way I can sum it up is after I had my heart attack, I went through cardiac rehabilitation through the NHS. And I found that really frustrating because the NHS is a marvellous thing, and I wouldn't be here without it. But cardiac rehabilitation is designed to get people walking up and down stairs. I was 6 months out of competing in a World Athletic Championships, so that wasn't going to satisfy me. But I went through it, I did it, and the nurses and staff at the hospital were amazing. 3 months after I'd finished my rehabilitation, I was back at the same hospital, and when my first grandchild was born. It was like 2 corridors away from where I went through my rehabilitation. So coupled with the relief of not being dead and holding my granddaughter Ivy in my arms for the first time, then all of that bollocks that we think is important in our life just fell away. And I think I talk a lot about longevity now, and longevity to me is putting yourself in a position to savor moments not like that, not worry about, I know, the reasons why people think society's judging them. And our job as mental health and exercise coaches is to get them to appreciate that that's bollocks, and there's value in just being yourself and doing what you want to do.
What was it about, you obviously you went through the journey there about the training as a coach, and then we started to touch on the MHEC stuff. So what was it about becoming a certified mental health and exercise coach that drew you to that title, vocation and philosophy?
I can't remember where I heard this phrase, but it always stuck with me that if you have the ability to help someone, you have the responsibility to help someone. And that face-to-face upgrade I went to, the thing that struck me most were I was in a room of people whose sole goal was to help people. The level of empathy, care, compassion, all these words that a lot of society treats as throwaway was evident in measures that I'd never seen before, and that really, really resonated with me. Those are some of my core values. Always have been, but I never found a way to make them manifest in a meaningful way. Being sat in that room was so inspirational, and as I said earlier, it prompted me when I got home to basically ditch my 36 years of a job that wasn't serving me and do something more meaningful. So MHEC means to me, it's given me an opportunity to use probably my biggest strength that I didn't realise I had, which is me. Me being honest about my failings, my fears, etc., is how I talk to my clients. And surely the world was always spin smoother if people just talk to each other that way. My sessions start around a conversation, and the byproducts of the physical activity that we do are undoubtedly there, but we use that word byproduct quite a lot. Those are byproducts that are fun and the connection I make with my clients. They're not necessarily the prime reason why they come to me.
Another thing was when we first met, and I said you were already an MHEC coach before you were officially an MHEC coach, because you already had the values, you already had the philosophy. You've been now mental health and exercise coach for a couple of years. What is the main things that you feel differs about you as a mental health and exercise coach when it comes to, let's say, a traditional PT who only has their personal training qualification?
I've always said to people when they come to want to have a chat about me about what I do and potentially work with me, the first thing they always refer to me as a PT. I said, well, no, I'm not a trainer, I'm a coach. And they say, well, what's the difference? I says, well, a trainer teaches you a new skill, a coach reminds you of what you're already capable of. What I teach people from a point of view of physical activity isn't rocket science, it's just returning people's bodies the way they're supposed to move. As a species, we were evolved to forage for our food, to run after our food, to run away from something that's trying to make us their food. That's how our bodies are supposed to work, not sit at a computer all day or in front of a TV or playing PlayStation. So my attitude to what I do now, with the benefit of being an MHEC coach, is I can talk to people in a way that this is what you're supposed to do. Let's do that. That will free up your mind to then expand it to appreciate what in your life isn't serving you and what you can change.
So you touched on longevity earlier, and one of the things that I say to people, because I tell a lot of people about you, one of the things I say, Steve's philosophy is you train for longevity because you want to be the first and last one up dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. Tell me a little bit about your coaching philosophy and the type of people that you help and what sort of things they want to achieve in their sessions.
My clients will come from a completely different mix of occupations. I've got a guy who's a senior partner in a vet. I've got a woman who's a serving police officer in Swindon. I've got one who works in the television industry. And the biggest reason, the thing they've got in common about why they come to me is that they know that exercise is going to make them feel good. They don't necessarily know why it makes them feel good. I guess part of it is that they're conditioned to, society conditions us to look after ourselves, but society doesn't tell us why that's important. Most of my clients are in my own peer group. I think the way I talk about myself on my social media channels, where I'm completely honest about my fears, the fact that I've had a heart attack, the fact that I'm a grandparent of now 2, is what initially gets people to approach me. And then when I talk to them about exercise in a way that's completely different to how the rest of the industry sometimes, or more often than not, portrays itself, we've all seen it, like shiny gyms, walk in there, you got people with 6-packs, all shiny 20-somethings with glowing white teeth, and that makes people feel judged when they walk in. People come to me, and my sales funnel, if you like, is come and have a chat. I buy people a coffee. We sit down. We make a human connection. We just talk about our fears, what our families are doing, what our responsibilities are, what our stresses in life are. And I basically say to people, imagine we can have this conversation in a gym, but at the same time, we'll be doing some exercise, and you won't even realise you're doing an exercise because you'll be so engaged in the conversation we'll have. That's the magic of being a mental health and exercise coach.
Tell me about one of your either favourite or best client results or best client moments.
Favourite client result? I've got a female client, well, what sex she is has got bollocks all to do with it. I've got a client who suffered from bad back, hip pain, found it really difficult to bend down and pick something up off the floor. So worked with her, as I said, fundamental movement principles, nothing high-tech or anything like that, making the body move how it's supposed to move. Noticed quite early on in our sessions that when she was simply walking along the floor doing a carry, that her left foot splayed out a little bit. That was the side that where a lot of her hip pain was coming from. Spent a lot of work on every exercise we were doing to make sure that her feet were in the right way. We created muscle memory for her hip and leg to be in the right position. And 3 months later, she said, my hip pain's gone. She said, I've been to loads of PTs and trainers and a couple of chiropractors, and nobody's been able to fix it. You've fixed it in 12 weeks. I said, well, to be honest, I just gave you a bit of guidance. You've done all the metaphorical and the actual heavy lifting to fix it. And we carried walking on. Slowly built in some cardio, low intensity stuff, but just to the point where she didn't get out of breath. And a couple of months after that, she said, I'm now walking up the stairs without getting out of breath. I can pick stuff up without pain. My hip's not hurting anymore. So it's not about PBs. It's not about lifting more than you've ever lifted before. It's creating transferable skills within the gyms, taken to day-to-day life. That's the result. That's the reason why I do what I do.
How important is mental health and exercise coaching? How important is it for there to be more mental health and exercise coaches trained up across the country and across the world?
I don't think it can be understated. I think the more of us there are, and the more of information that we put out there, talking about ourselves, our own experiences, the more people are going to be made aware that it's okay to have these kind of conversations. There's a phrase that we often hear that people, and it probably came out of COVID, that it's okay not to be okay. I hate that phrase, because people always say no, it's okay to not be okay, but they don't know what to do next. They just simply say that phrase and talk to somebody. But yes, you can talk to somebody, but the skill with talking is not about in the talking, it's about in the listening. And that's what we do. That's the difference between us and the rest of the industry.
So one of the goals of becoming a mental health and exercise coach isn't just to help other people, but it's to help yourself and to make sure that you can look after yourself first in order for you to give 100% to other people. You've shared a lot with me over the course of the last couple of years about some things that you have been through personally, and I know that last year in particular really, really tested you. If you feel comfortable chatting a little bit about that.
Yeah, I guess going back to when I was talking about my heart attack, where looking back on it, the thing that affected me most was what my family went through. I guess the biggest test that I've had since then was when my wife was diagnosed with skin cancer. Having lost 3 parents, my mum, my dad and my stepmom, all to various forms of cancer, that word just fills me with dread. So when Corinne was diagnosed with a malignant melanoma, it scared the crap out of me. Pre-MHEC Steve would have probably melted down, would have withdrawn within himself, would have been no help or support to Corinne whatsoever. But having learnt what I've learnt, MHEC isn't just about helping other people, it's about helping yourself. Everything I've learnt, the skills that I've learnt about how your mind works and how you can deconstruct fears and break it down to look after yourself. I mean, we always say that you can't look after the people you care about unless without putting yourself first. So I did that in a way that I looked after myself, that I could be there for Corinne at a point where we were both probably more scared than we've ever been since my heart attack. Fortunately, Corinne had some minor surgery, the cancer hadn't spread, and she's now been given a clean bill of health. But without MHEC, not only would I still be probably doing a job that I hate, I would not be the person that I am. One of my favourite words, as we all know, in the word is coddywomple, moving purposely towards an unknown goal. I don't know what my goal is. It's just, and again, this is going to sound really twee with the experience that I've had. I'm just satisfied getting up every morning and just trying to squeeze as much fun into the day as I can.
What is your best piece of advice for an exercise beginner or someone that's looking to take up exercise?
There's a phrase I use quite often: we make a start by making a start. Although it seems scary, just put one foot in front of the other for the first time, and you'll be amazed at the warm fuzzy feeling it creates inside you.
What is your number one piece of advice for someone who loves exercise and is considering becoming a personal trainer?
Go and talk to other personal trainers or coaches that you admire, and see what made them make the jump and the change in the first place, and see what inspiration you can take from them.
What advice do you have for someone who's looking to become a mental health and exercise coach?
Jump in with both feet and don't think twice.
What is, if you could part one piece of wisdom, if you had 30 seconds to impart one piece of wisdom to anyone that's going to be watching this, what would that be?
Life is for living, not existing.
If you had one piece of advice to the younger generation about how to live their life, what would that be?
Life can be really scary when you're young, when you've got financial responsibilities, occupational responsibilities, and they can be overwhelming, but don't lose sight of who you are, because who you are is absolutely fucking amazing.
Based on the fact that at one point you maybe thought you weren't going to be here, what does the future look like for you and your family?
Embracing every day, squeeze as much fun into it as possible. Every opportunity we have to spend time together, we take, and we don't let anything else get in the way.
Right, last thing, is there anything we haven't covered?
I'll talk a little bit about the thing that's always stuck with me. Who were the two speakers that first upgrade? It was Troy and... Yeah, I think it was... I can't remember if it was Troy or Ben. When I was sort of prevaricating, they said people out there need Steve. And that's always stuck with me. And I'll say something similar about MHEC coaches, thinking about being an MHEC coach.
Right, come here. That was class. Well done.
Well done. Honestly, I'm so proud of you. Cheers, buddy.
I'm so proud of you. It's so nice to see you in your element. Like,
Before I start, the policy committee has asked me to remind you that for reasons of health and safety, none of you should climb on top of the chairs and tables for my standing ovation. But seriously, if you can't hear me at the back, the silence at the front should reassure you you're not missing out on anything. I pondered long and hard about what song I wanted to walk onto. Most of you know my passionate love for music, especially live. One of the artists I've seen the most is Frank Turner, and the words from Eulogy have always stuck with me. Now, I know Eulogy is usually reserved for the dead, but given that I've effectively managed that twice, I think it's quite appropriate. I celebrated my 30th, 40th and 50th birthdays with the parties in Chippenham. For those of you who have never been to Narn before, thank you for coming. You're most welcome. For those of you who have returned, thank you for putting your previous experiences behind you. For those of us that live here, stranger danger. I'm chuffed to have again secured the services of the zucchinis tonight to provide our entertainment. They've been friends of mine for a very, very long time. Unlike that band that should not be named, the zucchinis do not operate a kiss cam, so please feel free to enjoy yourselves any way you see fit. I'm also very grateful to our sound and vision technicians, Danny and Joseph, tonight. This birthday feels a little bit different. As a mental health and exercise coach, I often talk about longevity. Google says it's the length of life, I say it's what you do with it. True longevity is laughing, loving and living fully while we're here, and surrounding ourselves with people who make us smile. Those are the times that we are only truly ourselves. Tonight is the most perfect of examples. My family and my friends are the most precious things in my life. Since my last celebration, I so very nearly lost my life, but I did lose another 2 parents and a close friend to cancer. Please therefore join me in a toast and raise your glasses to fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. Life gives as well as it takes. Since my last party, I've gained 2 beautiful grandchildren. Ivy and Henry are both here tonight. They make the sunshine even on the darkest of days. The darkest of days was so early the 22nd of April 2017. I'll paraphrase the story, but most of you know it anyway. 6 months after taking part in my first World Obstacle Course Racing Championships in Canada, my coronary artery blocked on the start line of the race in Dorset. I woke up in intensive care 10 hours later with my family around me and a stent in my heart. My life was saved by an extraordinary chain of people, and I'm honoured that 2 of them are here tonight. I'm going to embarrass them by introducing them to you. John Webber, one of the paramedics, if you'd like to come down and join me at the stage. David Baird, one of the race directors. I'm testimony to David's effectiveness of his race emergency protocols and planning. Without these people and others, I would not be here. So these thanks go to you two and to the people who aren't here. Thank you for the last 8.5 years of my life. Thank you for my ongoing marriage to Corinne. Thank you for being able to experience the unconditional love of my grandchildren. Thank you for wonderful nights like this. If you are not already, please be upstanding and show your appreciation for my heroes, and make sure neither of them pay for their own individual money. That's all of it. This is your life, isn't it? Someone recently asked me how I got so wise, because apparently I used to be a bit of a dickhead. and whilst with all good conscience I can't dispute that fact, I've learned that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity to grow. The longer we're around, the more chance we have to pass on wisdom. And wisdom isn't just knowledge. It's understanding that comes from reflection. If I've changed, it's because life has been a patient teacher, sometimes with a very, very heavy hand. For those who are younger than me, stop worrying about the future. It's coming faster than you think. One day you'll be 60, giving a speech at your own party, and still wondering what you should do when you grow up. I'm shortly to be Steve 6.0, and like all software updates, I'm slower, I use more memory, and occasionally I lose or win. person without warning. When I was 20, staying up all night was a sign of a good time. Now it means I'll spend most of the night going for a piss. Corinne will tell you I forget things, but maybe that's the wisdom. If I can't remember it, surely it wasn't that important. Corinne will tell you I do still reserve the right to be a dickhead, but I've hopefully learned not to abuse the privilege too much. Talking of dickheads, I feel humbled to have so many of you here tonight. sorry, I'm humbled to have so many family and friends here tonight. I have family from Chippenham, Southampton, Nuneaton, South Wales. Corinne and I are very much looking forward to Sam and Amy's wedding next year. I have friends from Team Rocket and the OCR world. My fellow members of Chippenham Running Punks. I have friends from Salisbury. They have a reputation, but that's a song for another day. I have a Pompey fan, but that's just me doing my bit for caring the community. And my mates from Chippenham, who I've known for pretty much 40 years, you have propped me up when I most needed it and taken the piss when I've most warranted it. The greatest gift that we all share is that most of our stuff was done before the internet. They say you can tell a man's character by the company he keeps, so looking around this room, it's no wonder I've turned out like I have. I'm humbled to see you here all tonight, but I'd like to mention those who would have loved to be here but are no longer with us. My dad, my mum, my stepmum Betty, my mates Chris and Greg, and my brother-in-law Andy. And finally to Corinne, my partner in life and in madness. I survived a heart attack and she's been in cancer. I'm so grateful we found each other, mostly because it saved 2 other people from marrying us. the day I met her was right up there when me and my cousin Mark saw Pompey lose to Southampton in injury time at Frank Park in 1984. We still sometimes drive each other nuts, we fight and frustrate each other, but that's just us being human. But the big stuff we always get right. She is my rock, my best friend, and longevity would be pointless without her. To paraphrase Frank Turner, I probably haven't done what I'm had a dream, but I have always tried. Anyone who says they're not a work in progress is a liar, and that's why I'll continue to try every day until I can try no more. I treasure the sign from the snug at my dad's house that says, "We'll be friends till we're old and senile, and then we'll be new friends." Average UK life expectancy is 82, so all things being equal, I've got over a quarter of my life in front of me. With the help of you, my family and friends, it's going to be like this night, absolutely amazing. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy your evening.